Noticing the exits and how you would make your way there. And then squeezing in small and just like squeeze and hold your body. So one hand on the rib cage, one hand on your shoulder, just squeeze the rock. And take up space again, come up really nice and big. Big breath in and expand. And breathe out, just letting yourself land here in space. And we're just going to work on a little stacking. So first we'll squeeze through the pelvic floor. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the bum. And then release. A little bit of rocking in there as well, some of the soothing. Okay, we're just going to talk a little bit about trauma now. So you guys can hold yourself in your process. And if anyone has anything they wish to add at any point,
Did you say something like?
I'll introduce myself. My name's Amy D. You can find me online under the acronym I'm Amy D, which stands for Integration Meditation, Alignment Massage, Yoga, and Body Education. I've been a practitioner and facilitator for 22 years. So I have a complex PTSD, which is not uncommon. I had a lot of, intergenerational trauma brought through, and I also have an invisible illness called a Chiari-1 malformation, which affects my brain function. I suffered with anxiety throughout my whole childhood, which is why I became a holistic therapist. So I went to college between 16 and 18, a long time ago now, and studied holistic therapies. Went on to then study Pilates, because supporting the postural alignment of the body was really important. And it was through that I first got introduced to the Fascia network. Then as a body worker, studying like further remedial massage, sports massage, I ended up studying with the London School of Sports Massage, which offers level 5 clinical remedial massage, which is university level. And it was in there that I was introduced to my first guru, I would say, which is Thomas Myers. Thomas Myers was the leader of understanding the fascia composite, and he put out a teaching called Anatomy Trains, and he called them the Fascia Meridians. And I love this because they do actually map pretty cohesively to the traditional Chinese meridians. And we were talking earlier about congestion being in fascia, in the body, with the tension. And then we look at these ancient like Chinese medicine principles, which is all about bringing the energy through where there are blockages. And we talk about the fascia composite being collagen deposits and the hyaluronic acid delivering that life force coming through. And that hyaluronic acid is also a composite of the cerebral spinal fluid, which is known as the breath of life, which is the fluid we get from our mother's womb, which is always inside our body. It doesn't replenish, just gets more hydrated. Anyway, I can talk about this in all different directions for many hours, but I've worked as a therapist, started my own practice when I was 24. So I'm going to be 40 this year now. So now I have about 30 practitioners who work there for me, multiple room, multifaceted business, which has come with its own challenges over the years. And I'm someone who has undergone a lot of self-development over the years to be able to complete the challenges that life offers to me. When I came over to Australia in COVID, I studied yoga in Upper Wilson's Creek with a beautiful couple called Ajahn. And then that really opened me up to more of like the embodiment side of practices. In terms of, I would call a bit of a nervous breakdown after that, because I then had some flashbacks from some embodied trauma that I had essentially completely suppressed. And it was very scary that it all came back to me at that time. And then through kinesiology, yoga, breathwork, qigong, which I then also went on to study extensively, I really learned about how the issue of being in the tissues is the way through the healing. And I had so many individual breakthroughs when I started to then work with my clients, I just felt like then I had untapped something and I was working at a whole new level and I wanted to understand everything about it. So I went on to study somatic regulation strategies with Linda Tai, who I would say was my next greatest guru, absolutely wonderful teacher. And yeah, and then it really merges the psychology with the physical healing that we spoke of. You value the teachings of Gabor Mate, Bessel van der Kolk, Wally Olapade, Tara Brash. If anybody wants any resources from me afterwards, please do come and chat. My greatest teacher, though, was a brain injury that I sustained during a plant medicine ceremony. Say, psilocybin has probably been one of my greatest teachers, something that I've worked with a lot over the years, and I work with my clients. And so I have absolutely no fear about this medicine. I had a different plan for me on this one occasion where I walked outside of the yurt, I looked up at the moon, and the moon cracked open into fractal light, and I felt my whole body started fizzing. And the next thing I knew, I was on the ground. And my friend was there with me, and she brought me around. The fizzing continued in my body. It was when every time I moved my head, it was like there was robotic noises. Long story short, it got worse, not better. The days to come ended up in some scary situations in a hospital because the brain condition I have, a Chiari-1 malformation, means my brainstem extends outside of my skull, and I damaged my brainstem. They thought the only solution was going to be surgery to remove pressure from my brains. But I was determined not to have surgery and to heal myself. And also with the work of a really beautiful osteopath. I managed to, but I couldn't work, I couldn't drive, couldn't go out. I was having panic attacks every day. And this was really that, like, do you want to prove to yourself that this stuff works or not? Can you heal yourself through somatic practices? And well, I'm here now. So it was a journey that was 2 years ago, 2 years ago. So at this point in my journey, I have not only tried and tested and learned and developed and created more and more layers of like compounded information on this, but with every fiber of my being has it been able to experience and grow and nurture from somatic healing practices. But yeah, you ask if I study something. That's I've been on a bit of a journey with this.